Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dan, and of course, you're tuning into Collector's Digest. Alright, today we have the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Spawn figure from, of course, Mortal Kombat 11. The skin comes out, what, tomorrow? The 17th? Yeah. I don't know when this video will go up, so it might come out before that or after it. Whichever. Anyways, but yeah, this guy's been a headache. Walmart was a complete bust. I don't know if that was McFarlane's fault, Walmart's fault. Seems like it was on both of them. But yeah, and it's just like like he was supposed to come out the 8th or the 9th everywhere, and he didn't. All the companies, they ended up moving the release date back quite a bit, like at least a month or two. So yeah, it's a mess. I was fortunate to get one. Actually, I had to go out of my way to get one. I had to pay more than retail. So it is what it is. I didn't want to wait till April. I anticipated getting it now. And then when my dreams were shattered, that sucked. But luckily, I was able to find somebody that wasn't trying to skin people alive to get it. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead. Let's crack this open and take a look. You got Spawn on the side. The back here. Great, man. Great. I like it a lot. Okay, let's open it. Guys, and here he is out of the packaging. This is Spawn. This is the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn figure. Now, he releases to the video game, what, tomorrow? The 17th? Yeah, the 17th. So this guy's great, man. Out of the packaging, I didn't have really any issues. As far as, like, maybe the sword, I did have to do the hot water, cold water trick to straighten this out a little bit, and it ended up working out perfectly fine. On his actual suit, though, right here on the belt, this side, it keeps wanting to go up like that, and it's supposed to hang down. Now, I heated it up with a blow dryer and then used cold water to keep it there, and it worked. But every time it gets room temperature, it always kind of rides back up a little bit. But it's much better than it was. It was almost intertwined with this top one out of the packaging, so that's an issue. But it's not, you know, I mean, as long as you can fix it, it's really not a big deal at all. Now, I have to say that the paint application on this guy and everything is phenomenal. McFarlane, dude, if you guys did this to every single figure, you would be killing the game. I mean, maybe work on the scaling a little bit. It works for Spawn because he's supposed to be more of a taller character, bigger character. But yeah, man, this guy's great. Even the cape, I thought that I was gonna have an issue because it's not really as large as Spawn's cape usually is. But the way that they sculpted this, it looks great. And also, what I like is this comes down and curves at the end, so it just lays on the ground like that. So it looks normal, you know. It looks like a natural fit, a natural lay, if you will. It drapes nicely, whereas some capes out there with some companies, like especially Hasbro, I have an issue a lot with their capes and how they lay or sit off of the figure. So you should be able to get a nice variety of poses out of this guy. He does have double jointed elbows. He has double jointed knees. It is a bit stiff, and he does have bulky biceps along with crazy gauntlets with spikes on them. So you might not get a lot of range of motion within these joints, but at least they included them and they gave you the chance. You know what I mean? Also, his hands, you just get 2 grip hands for the sword. You don't get any interchangeable hands. It would have been nice to get those, but honestly, I'm just happy that we actually got a Spawn figure. As you can see, I lazily placed his left hand on this sword. Let me see if I can't get that up a little bit. Okay, so here we go. So you can get him in decent poses with this sword, but honestly, I would have much rather got some weapons, some guns of some sort, some Uzis. That would have been my preference, but nonetheless, like I said, I'm happy to have some sort of articulated Spawn figure, especially one this articulated with this much detail. And I think that the concept that they went with from the game is perfect. It's perfect. It gives them a reason to make the figure and put it out there, and honestly, I'm happy. I hope that the whole Kickstarter does well for the animated line and the original figures. That would be great, but if it doesn't, then perfect. We have one. That's all I can ask for. If you watched my review for Hale Jordan, I mentioned that I wanted to use this effect for something else that I don't think a lot of people thought of, and it kind of works. I wanted to use it for Spawn's necroplasm, and it's decent. It's not too bad. I had a hard time figuring out how I would actually get him to grip it. I thought maybe I'd be able to remove his hand and plug it in, but the wrist peg is way bigger than a Mezco wrist peg. Also, I thought maybe if I just remove the hand and the peg altogether, I would be able to kind of just stick it over where his hand goes on the gauntlet, but that didn't work either. I'd have to widen the bottom of this because of how narrow it is, and I didn't want to mess with that because this is for Hale Jordan, not for Spawn. But if somebody wanted to maybe I don't know, cast a mold of this thing and then paint it and make it, and then you could hollow it out and fit it over Spawn. Also, what I was thinking is, like, you know, the Walmart exclusive Black Panther, the vibranium suit edition that came with those fist fireballs or whatever. I think that those would work as well if they were painted the right color green. Now that does look cool lit up by the light here. You could also probably take an external light and shine it right on that and it would glow as well. But so far, man, I think that I think it's not bad. I think it works. It does the trick. Barely have any weapons that he can act well, as far as submachine guns that he can hold. A lot of them are just way too small, especially the ones that came with Marvel Legend figures. So I'm gonna have to try to find something on eBay that is more to scale with 7-inch figures. But I did find this. This came with the Mezco 112 Collective Blade figure, and I think he came with 2. Now I didn't squeeze his trigger finger into the slot because that gun is very, very nice detail, very nice paint apps, and I just don't want to take the risk of ruining it. But you can still get the drift of what Spawn will look like with a couple of submachine guns. And yes, I really do wish that Spawn would have came with something. Now I see a lot of people using the weapons from the color top figures. Unfortunately, I never got any of the color tops. They looked great, but anything without articulation just really isn't my deal unless I'm buying an actual statue, you know, like from like Sideshow or Prime One. I'm into stuff like that. But as far as like something like this, 20 bucks, 20, 30 bucks, I really don't want to buy any statues just because I feel like the detail might not be up to par with an action figure or something that is higher end. However, I think that there are weapons out there that you'll be able to use. I just kind of gotta like hunt and search a little bit, but you get the drift. He looks great with a firearm, and hopefully I'll be able to find more on eBay or something to equip him with, because I do wish that he would have came with some type of firepower, if you will. The sword is cool, but I think he's cooler with weapons, and that's just my opinion. So here you go. You kind of get the idea of what he will look like with a submachine gun, Uzi, or whatnot. You get his head looking that way, and he does look great, man. Beautiful paint applications. Yeah, I'll have to find some type of weapon, some type of gun to equip him with for the future, because I definitely want to do a lot of action figure photography with this guy. So I actually found a couple other guns in my collection here that I think might work. This is an Uzi that came with the 80th anniversary Deadpool from Marvel Legends, and that doesn't look too bad. It is very small though, you see what I mean? But I guess it's really not too bad. I mean, he is a big guy, so a gun, you know, the gun isn't necessarily going to be bigger just because he is, so I think technically that would work. Here's some other things I think might work. So I have this. Don't ask me where I got these. I have no idea. Sometimes, like, I'll go to the flea market and they'll just have a bunch of guns, and, you know, they'll sell them for like 50 cents, 25 cents, whatever. And I got this like little AK right here. This actually should be painted. This came with that 80th anniversary Deadpool as well. I think that would work nicely. And then I have this one that came with the X-Force Deadpool and the what was it, the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure Wave. I could paint this like all black and do some dry brushing like silver or whatever to give it some detail, and then give it to Spawn, and I think that would work out nicely as well. So there are options. Scale-wise, I think maybe the one that came with the X-Force Deadpool and the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure Wave might not be too bad. It just needs to be painted because that's a horrible baby blue for a gun, and Spawn's definitely not going to have no baby blue on his weapons. But I think that would work. I think it looks the best out of all of them, in my opinion. So that's something that you could try out if you have that in your collection. It'll definitely work. Okay, guys, so for articulation, his head can go down just about as much as you see right now. He's actually looking at the camera. He can go up about that much. All right, down, not so much. He does go side to side, but it's hard because the cape does get in the way, and I don't want any paint rub on my Spawn head sculpt, so I'm not going to move it anymore. For the arms, they are double jointed. You can get them up pretty high, about well, let's really get it up there. You can get them up about that high, right? And then they go in. The only thing is he has huge biceps and he has these gauntlets with spikes on them, so you're not going to get the best range of motion. You can see the right arm gets a little bit more than the left arm. As far as the wrists, they are on a hinge and swivel. You can hinge down and you can hinge up on this side. This side, he has this huge-ass gauntlet coming down, so you're not going to get any up. It's just going to be down, and it's just a little bit at that. For the abdominal section here, we have 2 cuts. So the first one is a diaphragm joint. Whoops. You can get him going left. You can get him going right, and then you can see the bottom moves as well, which acts as a swivel too. Both swivel. You can get him going back that much, and then you can get him looking down quite a bit, and he's doing the Michael Jackson Thriller right now. For the legs, it looks like they're just on a regular ball joint. I have this issue with mine. You see how this leg is popping out of that plastic overlay? Yeah, that's a issue that is it tends to do that quite a bit, and I don't know why it's not happening on this side. I think it's because this is lopsided, so I might have to heat that up and fix it. But for the legs, you can get him doing the splits for the most part. He kind of goes all the way down, almost goes all the way down. You can get him kicking out about that much, but it's out to the side, so about that much. He goes back about that much. You do get double jointed knees, and he doesn't quite kick his own ass, but you do get a pretty good range of motion with that boot being considered. So put that down. And these spikes, man, be careful because they're puncturing the hell out of my thumbs. And then for this side, you can get him going up, basically kicking his own ass. And that looks great. As far as the cape, it is a little heavy. It's a little back heavy. So when you pose him, you kind of got to have him sitting a little bit forward. However, sometimes the cape adds to help him balance a little bit. So that's good. So yeah, that's basically the articulation. You do get quite a bit of articulation on this guy. You also get a swivel at the biceps. They're a little stiff on mine. No swivel at the boot or... Alright guys, so that's going to do it for McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn figure. This guy is amazing. You're going to love it once you get it. Now listen, I paid extra to get this on eBay. I don't even care because it was like, I expected it to go up on Walmart. It never went up, at least that I saw. Then a few Walmarts in my area was supposed to get it. They didn't. Then I thought that I hit on Amazon. Then they moved the release date back like a month. Then I thought that I hit on GameStop. It was going to come out on that Friday. That Friday came and they pushed back the release date another month. And it's just been a downward spiral ever since. And so therefore I said screw it. I want to be able to have it and take a look at it because I was anticipating it ever since Toy Fair, really. When they showed this at Toy Fair, man, I was game. Yeah, so he's definitely awesome. I know that this wasn't anything crazy in depth or anything like that. It's not really my style. I just kind of want to talk about the figure, go over it, and give my thoughts and opinions on it. That's what I do. So if you enjoyed that and you made it this far, please hit the thumbs up for me. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there from all this virus bullshit. I hope you guys, you and your families, are safe, sound, and everything's A-okay. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. God bless. Peace.